Somewhere along a dusty path in Central Asia, a merchant from China stood face to face with a Roman soldier. They had never met before. Their empires had never officially acknowledged one another, yet here they were, exchanging silk for gold on a mountainside that belonged to neither of them. For over 1,000 years, an invisible network connected three of the world's greatest civilizations. Then, almost overnight, it disappeared. Around 200 BCE, a Chinese envoy named Zhang Qian was captured while traveling west. After escaping, he continued his journey instead of returning home. When he finally came back, he brought astonishing news. Beyond the mountains were wealthy kingdoms with powerful horses, precious metals, and a growing demand for Chinese silk. The emperor realized that trade could become one of China's greatest strengths. But here's what most people don't realize. No merchant could carry goods all the way from China to Rome alone. The journey stretched nearly 4,000 miles across freezing mountain passes, vast deserts, and dangerous territory. Instead, goods changed hands countless times. A Chinese trader sold silk to a Sogdian merchant in Samarkand. The Sogdian passed it to a Persian trader. The Persian sold it onward to Arab merchants. Months later, that same silk finally reached Rome. Every trader along the way earned a profit. What emerged was something remarkable, a trade network stretching across 3 continents without any single empire controlling it. Buddhism spread east from India into China. Scientific knowledge, artistic ideas, crops, and technologies traveled in every direction. Cities such as Samarkand flourished into some of the richest places on earth, while caravanserais provided shelter for merchants crossing thousands of miles. Then, during the 1400s, everything changed. The Mongol Empire fragmented, making overland travel far less secure. The Ottoman Empire gained control over key trade routes. At the same time, Portuguese explorers discovered sea routes around Africa, allowing merchants to ship goods directly between Asia and Europe. Ocean travel was faster, cheaper, and far less dependent on countless middlemen. The Silk Road didn't slowly disappear. It collapsed. Trade routes that had sustained empires for over 1,000 years were abandoned within generations. Once thriving cities lost their importance, and many became little more than forgotten outposts. Historian Susan Whitfield, who has spent decades studying the Silk Road, found something fascinating. The merchants living at the time never imagined their world could vanish. They believed these routes would last forever. The idea that ships could replace centuries of overland trade seemed almost impossible until it happened. The lesson is simple. Systems that seem permanent often rely on assumptions nobody questions. The Silk Road existed because overland trade was the most efficient way to move goods. Once that assumption became false, the entire network became unnecessary. It wasn't conquered or destroyed. It simply stopped being the best solution. Your grandparents may have believed travel agents would always exist. Your parents probably assumed shopping would always happen in physical stores. In your own lifetime, you've already watched industries transformed by technologies few people predicted. So, when you picture the Silk Road disappearing after 1,000 years, you're also looking at the world around you. The systems we rely on today may feel permanent, but history tells a different story. Every solution belongs to its own era, and eventually every era gives way to the next.